Monster Hunters everywhere, hello once again. Welcome back to another episode of The Loading Screen. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Jin Fury, and I'll be 50% of your hosting team tonight. We've got a wonderful guest, and Fatalis is on the agenda, so let me hand the conversation over to my heterosexual life mate, the one and only Phemeto.
Thank you, Jin. Hey there, Hunters, and welcome back to another episode of The Loading Screen. Today's guest we brought in this time is Phemeto, full-time streamer, Monster Hunter veteran, Souls veteran, drunken cat lady extraordinaire. You can catch her streams over. You can catch her streaming over on Twitch. She streams Monster Hunter, Souls games, other games, everything and about. So, hey, welcome. What's up?
Hi, thank you guys so much for having me. I am not a drunken cat lady. I'm a cat lady, but I'm not a drunken cat.
That should change just a little bit, but.
Well, yeah, occasional drunken cat lady is fine, yes.
Part-time drunken cat lady.
Okay, that's better. But yeah, thanks so much for having me on, guys.
What are you both drinking tonight? Let's jump right in. Let's have you guys describe what it is. I myself will not be drinking. I'm just going to be smoking and hanging out. I apologize, everybody. I'll be drinking in the next one.
All good.
For me, I've got a 2012 Zin from Luso della Terra. There's a winery down here in Paso Robles. Fucking love this place.
I have wine, but I'm not drinking it because it's cheap, pink, girly wine, and Phemeto will make fun of me. So I have another type of girly drink.
Excellent.
Cranberry and vodka, but I have...
That works. Okay.
$7.99.
Oh, you got some
nice,
school
doing
vodka.
the expensive stuff. I see you.
Oh, it's terrible, but
Shout
the cranberry is so good with it.
That is his vodka.
Yeah, this is the Skull vodka.
Skull vodka. This stuff makes you fart blood in the morning. Oh my god, good luck to you. Holy shit, you're a fucking Spartan.
Good thing girls don't fart. So.
Yeah.
After Skull, good luck.
All right, so let's just go ahead and dive into this thing. So everyone who doesn't know Phemeto, aka Faye, not Bo Faye, but that Faye, can you give us some background on your experience with the whole Monster Hunter franchise? Because while we all know that World is your first title, it's definitely not the only game you've played now.
So now it's not. No, I do play Bo. I really, really like Bo, but I'm not the Faye Bo speedrunner. That's not me. I'm a slow, casual Bo player, but I love Bo so much. And I did dabble in Monster Hunter GU for a little bit. I started playing it when it first came out for the Switch, and I think some other World players probably feel the same way. I didn't really care for it that much. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like, I really got, I think, spoiled with the quality of life changes in World, and I love that about World and the old games. Like, I see why people like them, but
why?
I just didn't really click with GU. I just didn't click with it. I really tried. I promise, I really did. And then I ended up going back to it before Fatalis came out because there was like a lull in Monster Hunter World stuff. So I was like, okay, let's play some more GU. I want to see like some of the monsters that were in the older games that came to World and some that didn't come to World. Like, I kind of want to just experience them. So I just played, with viewers, and we just jumped into a hub, and they just kind of steamrolled through a bunch of monsters while I tried to learn the old style of Bo, which was an experience.
Yeah, it's slower. It's a lot slower.
It's very different. It's very different.
So how far did you get in GU once you came back to it? Because I thought you were in G rank doing stuff.
I think I literally just made it to G rank, and then Fatalis came out the next day, so I haven't touched GU since. But
gotcha. Did you?
I wanted to fight Alatreon and Fatalis, but we never.
You could have, because he's a village quest. You could have done it solo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have survived.
You don't know.
But I wanted to see what he was like. I wanted to see what he was like in the older games.
He's totally different. He's nowhere near as cool.
That's what everyone says, yeah. Really?
Alatreon. Yeah, World Alatreon is a whole totally different fight.
What about Fatalis? Is he super, super different or what?
Again, totally different fight. Old World Fatalis is easy. It's super easy. All you gotta do is jump on him, you mount him, he falls down, you wail on his face, breaks his face, he falls down again, you wail on his face some more. Do that another time and he's dead.
It's so funny because when Fatalis was first announced, I was image Googling him and I thought he was the derpiest looking monster. I was giggling at how big his head was and the tongue and everything. I was like, you guys, what is this? And now it's like my favorite monster.
He's the
I
dragon
love
from
it.
Never-ending Story.
Absolutely love Fatalis.
Falcor?
Yeah, that Falcor. Yeah, okay.
Is that what you just fucking referenced? Fucking Falcor?
I was thinking
that.
Dreepy from Pokemon, and I was like, why? I can't think of Falcor, but I know Dreepy is based on Falcor, and then Fatalis. I don't know, whatever. Faye, did you get to experience Old World Diablos?
Yeah, we did fight him. I did it with multiplayer, but it was tough.
Now, how do you compare Old World Fatalis to New World Fatalis? I mean, not Fatalis, sorry, Diablos.
Diablos? I don't really know if I fought him enough to be able to compare. I think it was like a one and done quick thing, and I feel like he dug a lot more in GU from what I can remember. But that's it. That's all I can really remember. I love Diablos. Diablos is one of my favorite fights. Diablos, I learned how to play like Lance somewhat with Diablos, so I like that fight in World, but I don't really think I fought him enough in GU to really compare.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I was just curious because a lot of people complain saying that World Diablos is terrible compared to like Old World Diablos. I'm like,
really?
Dude, Old World Diablos, all it did was charge and burrow. Like those literally his only two attacks.
I remember it burrowing a lot.
That's deep.
But yeah, it's real deep. I see what you did there.
Funny.
Man, you just touched on Lance, and I was just thinking, you just mentioned Lance, and I'm still mad that Lance doesn't have like a big burst move. Like, I know the playstyle is supposed to be different and all those type of things, but I really thought that there'd be a way to like charge 3 counters or something, and like some kind of like meter or gauge to them, like do some kind of like explosive thing. Like,
so I was gonna say, you didn't play GU at all? Did you?
Nah.
So in Gen and GU with Hunter Arts, there was a move for Lance called Corkscrew Attack, which was a very fucking strong Lance poke. It was a very long range Lance poke that hit like 11 times or something. Very strong attack. Lance is the strongest weapon in G and GU, by the way. It is ridiculously overpowered.
No shit.
Yeah, it is crazy. If you guys watch Zebra, Zebra Quake does a lot of Lance stuff in G and GU. Dude, Lance is crazy. But if they gave like Corkscrew Attack, like kind of like how you're thinking, like if you built up a meter on like perfect guards or whatever, and then you're able to release it, I think that would have been way cooler. Because yeah, Lance does need something a little flashy to make it more.
It just needs deeper mechanics. The skill ceilings only got so much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got like Harukin and all these other people that are just world class, but I'm just saying, like, I think even they would say, hey, yeah, we probably have kind of hit the ceiling of what you can do in terms of pokes. I mean, there's probably not a lot of I don't see a lot of people doing like the aerial mount shit that I was doing. I don't think that's probably even viable for like more damage, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even the other stuff that Lance can do is not really good and better compared to its pokes. It needs something that's better. And I think that would just be like a damage dump. And I'm fine with it being, an investment mechanic where you've got to do 3 or 4 or 5, or I don't know what the fucking number would be, amount of counters, just blast something in the face. That sounds awesome, dude. That was in GU though, the corkscrew? That's what you said?
Yeah, you should look up Zebra Quake's runs. And,
I'll have to check that for sure.
Yeah, Lance has
Zebra
got
shit's always good
stuff. Well, Lance has got like the kind of like that where it's a counter. One of the Hunter Arts is a counter, and then if you take a big hit, then it charges your Lance to deal 30% more damage for like a minute or something.
That's dope.
So it just makes you really.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like I thought the counter clutch in Iceborne was a cool addition, and I liked it on like Nargacuga and Tigrex, but then like I went in to fight a Latreon, my little Lance, and I counter clutched it and instantly got pinned. And I was like, well, this sucks. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't take. Well, I take it back. Is a Lance, Jin, do you know if Lance is any good on a Latreon? I thought it would be.
I mean, the times are they're not bad, but again, there's no way to see how much lower it can get to because there's only so much that someone can do with that weapon. I really wish it had that additional mechanic. The more we talk about this, oh my god! Just think about what you could do in runs with that. Then.
I forget you guys are in the speedrunning mindset, and I'm in like the not that one.
Well, no, just from any standpoint, even from a casual standpoint, like you'd want to be able to be rewarded for your good gameplay. So maybe you're playing not as fast, but you're blocking the land, you're doing the counter.
Yeah.
So you counter, you should get rewarded for that because you're doing it right. And instead of just being like, well, I block, a lot of weapons can block. You know, I just feel like you should be rewarded more because the Lance
that makes sense.
It's harder in some senses because you have to just kind of draw out fights. You don't have a lot of burst.
You have to know how to be aggressive with Lance in order to make it through a hunt. And sometimes I can't be that aggressive with it.
Well, I think that's why they brought out offensive guard or whatever. So like when you perfect block, you get like an attack boost. But the problem is not very many people use it because it lasts like 4 seconds or something. Like
it's weird.
1 or 2 pokes out of it. That's it. And it's only like a 15% damage boost off of like, 100 damage poke is kind of like a, kind of whatever. So
yeah,
I don't know. Lance just feels like it just needs more. I think Lance was
maybe in Rise it'll get something.
Well, have you seen some of the new Rise stuff? Like the Lance looks neato.
Nothing about Lance, no.
I'm not sure how viable it's going to be, but Lance has got one of the wire bug attacks where you can change directions mid-charge, like when it's got its charge poke. And I wonder if you can hit something with the charge and then change directions and hit it again, so you get 2 hits off the charge poke.
Ooh.
So like, instead of like a monster's head's down, if you like run through it and poke it, and then turn around and run back through it and do it.
That's really neat.
If you can get double up on it, that'd be kind of cool.
Just to get like a little neck crevasse and just kind of just keep poking at the 2 spots. I see what you're saying. That would work.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot about Rise, but I mean, hopefully, it depends. What they show in trailers is not always accurate, so
that's true.
So there's gonna be no drunk bird, right?
We don't know.
Well, why would there be if the whole thing's like traversing the map? Like this is where I keep getting lost in like why I don't understand like the vertical aspect of it and those kind of things. Like if we're still just getting to the monster and all these things aren't incorporated into like the fight.
Well, but the wire bug
like
all that stuff is incorporated in fights.
I saw. Okay.
So
okay.
I have the talking point later about Rise, but I'll kind of go over it now. So the wire bug is something you just have. You have 2 uses of, and it's on cooldown. So you get 2 uses, and they try to recharge over time. There's also like things you can pick up on the map to recharge it, but you can use it mid-fight to do like a Spider-Man, like basically like the wedge beetles in World. Like you could just use it to grab somewhere and pull you away and kind of maneuver around in a fight. So you'll be using that in the fights, and I'm sure some of the new monsters are going to incorporate that verticality.
Okay,
like some really big monsters that maybe you have to wire bug up to get on them or something.
That'd be neat.
So
that sounds kind of like Dragon's Dogma almost.
Yeah, almost like a Dragon's Dogma thing. Dragon's Dogma was great, so I mean,
one of the best games of all time, like 100%. Like that game was incredible, like ahead of its time. Like if you take this, we don't even need to talk about Dragon's Dogma. That game's so fun.
Cups is big fan of Dragon's Dogma.
It's such an incredible game. It's so goddamn good. Faye, you were a full-time streamer long before Monster Hunter, doing MOBAs and things of that nature.
Yes.
What made you transition over to Monster Hunter? And if you didn't do Monster Hunter, what do you think you would have kept playing?
Ooh, good questions. So I started streaming a MOBA called Paragon, which I could talk your ears off about it forever, but I'm not going to do that. So just quick synopsis. Paragon was the first MOBA that I've ever played. I don't know if either of you have ever seen or heard of it. It was by Epic Games.
I played it twice.
What's that?
I played it 2 times.
Did you?
Yeah, that's about it.
I loved that game. I loved that game so much. And I never had played a MOBA. I was never into like any kind of competitive shit like that. But something about Paragon, probably the graphics. The graphics were so good. I loved it. I was streaming it a lot. And I think that game kickstarted my Twitch career, like no question. It was an awesome game. The community was really dope. Made a lot of friends from it. And then Epic Games shut it down.
It went down, right? A couple years ago?
Yeah.
Aren't they doing something with I heard about this game. No. They're doing something with it, though. Yes, they are. They're
No, dude, I wish they were.
Well,
they're like taking the graphics or something from it and making it.
So what happened?
What it is. They did something with the assets, right? That's what.
So what they did shortly after they closed it is they opened up the assets to anyone. So anyone could do anything with the Paragon assets. So as a result of that, there are several remakes in the works right now who have taken the assets and are attempting to remake Paragon. But there's like at least 3 that I can think of right now that are all kind of in the beta, soon to release kind of stage. And it's a little awkward because it's going to be like 3 of the same game with the same, you know what I mean?
The same,
so
it's the same palette, kind of.
So yeah, and I made
like
my
3 different takes on the same thing. Like they could just do like a UI skin. You know what I mean? Like
I made my peace with the game closing. It was like honestly a really emotional time. Stupid comparison, but imagine your favorite game in the world, which I'm sure a lot of people have gone through something like this with a game that was in beta.
I request 1.
So it sucks. It's really emotional, especially when you form that attachment to a game and then they just, close it down, and it's like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna quit streaming? What the hell am I gonna do? So I asked my Paragon community, what games look cool to you guys? Like what should I stream? And Monster Hunter World won like this poll that I put up in Discord. Mostly everybody voted for a lot, dude, a lot. And I don't remember what other games I had. I think one of them was like League of Legends, which thank God, because I never would have liked it. Never would have gotten into it.
Me either. I don't want to stream that shit. I would just get infuriated.
No. That Monster Hunter World won like a poll from, I would say normies, but
I think
from mobile
that's
players.
The correct term. Normies.
Because Monster Hunter's not like, even when it came out, it wasn't like a huge mainstream game. I know it's sold incredibly well, but
I think I know why.
Oh, okay. So
because, I like when they had announced Paragon was closing, they had like, it was up for like another month or so after that. So we were just kind of counting the hours until the servers shut down. It was very, very sad times. But I was kind of branching out to other games, and I think I did my first playthrough of like Dark Souls 3. Very first, like
very good call.
So yeah, so I think people thought, okay, she's probably gonna like Monster Hunter the best because people compare Monster Hunter to the Souls kind of universe, and I never really understood that at first, but I think I kind of get it now. I get it.
Comparison, but honestly,
I don't either.
If I'm gonna tell anyone, if people have absolutely no idea what Monster Hunter is, the only thing I could tell them is like, it's like Dark Souls, but only the boss fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it punishes you. You got to learn them. It's pattern-based behavior recognition. Yeah, it's the same shit for sure.
So I think that might be why.
Dark Souls is the best series ever made.
It is.
I
agree.
I'm
so glad I got into the series.
Dark Souls is great.
It's so good.
The world building, the environments, the lore, all that shit is crazy. I still think the actual combat fighting is better in Monster Hunter.
Well, I mean, you could argue maybe the Bloodborne has better combat per se than Dark Souls if you want to get like in specifics on that. But just saying like that genre, I mean, it's all a slight variation on that same exact game, right?
Right. Okay.
Or I shouldn't say slight. It gets bigger and bigger, but
yeah, the genre is pretty top tier. Like,
dude,
I think I personally prefer the like dark fantasy aspect of it compared to World. You know,
I love the way that
I love that shit. Mm-hmm.
The items and how like you have to piece shit together. You don't know, you kind of know, but you don't. Like then you get like the next game and they tell you something and it gives you like the information. Like, okay, you verified this, but then there's this whole other fucking trapeze act you got to try to fucking follow. Like I gotta love Dark Souls. Like think about that. Think about compare Dark Souls to like Star Wars, right? Star Wars, they threw in all these new characters at the end, fucking flopped, right? Super flop, pissed off Disney, all that shit. Dark Souls 3, you have like Gale, people that you never heard of before in any of these games, and they're absolutely incredible as the last boss.
Gale's a beast, dude.
Like, that's a really
good about his story. You only see him for this little bit.
And a couple little bits of like, I think you saw him like once,
such a powerful
in the base
character.
game, and then you saw him in the DLC, like the first DLC, The Ashes of Ariandel, like once, and then like at the final DLC, you get the whole story, and I was like, oh shit.
He was supposed to be cannon fodder. He was supposed to just be a dude that just dies to the dragon. He was supposed to be literal cannon fodder. And he went and fucking killed everyone out of his will. Literally, across time. He's the last dude alive. Like, think about that shit.
The whole time travel through the abyss thing with the Cheshire Hunter from the first Dark Souls DLC and Ulasil, who is literally the Bloodborne Hunter. that got
Chester,
ripped through
Marvel
time.
Chester.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chester. Yeah, the Chester.
He says, I come from a different world. They just didn't have Bloodborne out at the time, but he's literally dressed exactly
Do you
like
really
that.
think that it's like officially from
100%.
Bloodborne though? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Abyss links worlds and times, and that's just kind of how it works. And then like the fucking Cheshire Hunter literally is the Bloodborne Hunter, rather because he didn't have a gun, but because he came into this world, but he had the crossbow and a weapon, you know, in each hand. He didn't have a traditional dodge. He had a backflip kind of like kick thing, kind of like.
And he had the hat. The hat.
Yeah, the hat. And then he threw
the hat.
fucking roses, and he
confirmed
hunts beasts. That was his thing. He's a hunter. He literally was the fucking Bloodborne hunter, or just a Bloodborne hunter guy, and just got ripped through the world. Anyway, you can go on Dark Souls shit all fucking day. But anyway, so Faye, where would you think you'd be right now if you didn't start Monster Hunter stuff?
What came in second on that poll?
League of
Oh
Legends.
gosh, I don't
that
know.
was League. She said
Such a
League.
while ago. I think Legends was on the poll. Oh man, I wish I could remember, but I really don't know. Where would I be? I honestly, if I wasn't playing Monster Hunter, I don't know, dude. I may not have gone full time with streaming. I really don't know. Maybe I would have gone back to work. What I was doing was I was working for a health insurance company before I left.
That's fun.
Yeah, health insurance, downtown, in a cubicle, on the phones, on the computer, all day,
Could you imagine
watching
doing that
Twitch.
this year?
Oh God, no. Well, I don't know, because they probably all would have been remote, so I probably would have loved it because I would have been working from home anyway. Definitely would have been working from home anyway. But I didn't like that because like I kind of like I would take it home with me because I'd be reading about. I had to do authorizations for medications for patients, so I had to read their cases and then configure all the documents and then send it to the pharmacist, and they would approve or deny the medication for the person. So I was like, I just don't feel morally right being here, like
decide.
doing this. I wish everyone could just get the medication they need and whatever, so I don't know. It's tough. It was tough being in like that setting. Just, it wasn't for me. So who knows, like maybe I still would have been there, maybe not.
Interesting.
You were talking about yourself being you come from the casual side of things, but you definitely, kind of put your work in. You've done solo on Elatrion, you've done solo on Fatty, which again is very, very impressive for everybody who knows the actual fights. How did you enjoy those fights? Which one did you enjoy more? Let's go there.
Well, I'll just start off by saying I'm a pretty stubborn person. I'm Italian.
Okay.
It's in my blood. I'm pretty stubborn. Fem knows I started a Soul Level 1, Dark Souls 3. I kind of stopped because the fun just kind of wasn't in it for me at the time. Might pick it up again. But like, I just wouldn't give up. Like I would just keep going and dying as much as I needed to die until I finally got through it. And I think that kind of transition to Elatrion and Fatalis.
Sure.
Because, dude, I did not like Elatrion at first. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I hated Elatrion. I thought it was a stupid fight. I hated the damage check because even in Master Rank, it took a long time to kill a Master Rank monster, especially tempered monsters. They have a lot of health. It take me a while, especially solo. It take me a long time. And I didn't like being confined to 30 minutes, the damage check. I was like, this really sucks. Like, I don't know why they won't just, but I get it now. It took me a little while to kind of realize. And I was like, Faye, stop being a little bitch. Stop bitching about it. Figure it out and do it.
And you did.
Ask for help if you need to. And I did. And
Beast.
Yeah. I think
Conquer.
There's a huge
hell yeah.
split between like the hardcore speedrunning community in Monster Hunter and then like the more casual players like on your side. But the thing is, it's mostly because most of the casual player base don't have your mindset. They don't have the just fucking do it. Let's just sit down.
Just fucking do
get
it.
it done.
By most you mean all.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let me just say one more thing. Don't worry about taking other people's builds. Like, stop. Make your own fucking build and make it work. And because you can do it. You can do it with whatever build. Well, for the most part, whatever build, that works for you, just fucking make it work and stop trying to take other people's builds. I mean, you can do that, but at the same time, just make your own build and just go in and do it.
Mm-hmm. So I did see that you did get your Elatrion clear. I was there for that. Did you do another one or did you just stop Elatrion cold turkey after that?
Dude, no, I've been clearing Elatrion like it's no problem now.
See,
it's absolutely no problem.
You got your one solo clear, and now you're like, I got this, and then you just fucking crush it out.
I think because there's a few reasons. I didn't at first like how structured the fight was, because streaming, multiplayer, let everybody else do the clutch claw, let everybody else do the wall bang, whatever. I'm reading chat, I'm shooting bow, I'm shooting the wings, I'm shooting the face, I'm having a good time. When it came to soloing Elatrion, you have to tenderize, you have to do the wall bashes, you have to shoot the right parts of the monster, like the feet. Like Phemeto was screaming at me one day, like, just shoot the feet, Faye, just shoot the feet. And I did, and I had to get the pattern down of wall bashing at the right opportunity, tenderizing when I needed to, when you do a certain ice breath and whatever. I had to get the structure of the fight down, and that was something that I really wasn't doing before. I was just kind of reacting to what the monster was doing instead of looking for opportunities. And that is where I fucking ascended from whatever to like Elatrion. Really just, it's a cool fight, and it really taught me to, it really did. It really clicked. It's a really dope fight. I love Elatrion now. It's one of my favorites, and if it weren't for Elatrion, I probably never would have soloed Fatalis and never would have tried.
Well, and see, that's a great story. I love the mindset, and that's the thing that a lot of people I think get hung up on, is where they do it a couple times and fail and be like, well, I can't do this, and then they stop and then they complain about it.
Right.
And people don't have that mindset, and maybe because base world was so easy and there wasn't really much of a challenge in base world. But once Iceborne came out, stuff was just fucking pushing you down constantly, and I think that's where most of the complaints came in from the, like you said, normal hunters out there. And they didn't want to take the time to learn the patterns and learn the fights and learn, the opportunistic times in which to do things. And I think that's things like Elatrion and Fatalis are really what separate, the normal hunters from the good hunters. And you got your solo clear in, and I heard Skoysko got his solo clears in too, so congrats on him too.
That's awesome. Good for Phil. Happy for him.
I love seeing people just overcome big challenges and stuff, because
ascending.
I don't think that's why I watch like a lot of streamers, especially like I don't watch a lot of like speedrun streamers, because I get the whole reset process and I hate looking at it, because that's where I live. I'm like, fuck that.
Right.
So I watch a lot of casual hunters because I can see them and how they work, and I can see their progress, and then I can be like, dude, you got this, you can do it, I know you can do it, just fucking do it. And then they finally do it, and they're all fucking elated and cheering and yelling, and it feels good to watch. And then when we do like speedrun players are like, okay, we got the kill. The time sucks. Fuck it, let's just redo it.
It makes me happy to hear you saying these things, because I definitely have this fear of, like, in the back of my mind, I can't help but think to myself, dude, if a speedrunner was watching this, they would just fucking laugh at me. They would laugh at me. They would make fun of me.
I literally nobody would. I don't know a single.
I watch more non-speedrunners than I watch speedrunners. 100%. I watch 10 times more non-speedrunners than I watch speedrunners. Speedrunners are not entertaining. Most of us are fucking losers. Like, that's the reality of it. Reality check. Most speedrunners are antisocial motherfuckers. Like, hey, that's it. They got egos. They don't know how to talk to people.
You gotta be, man. If you're gonna sit there and reset a game 600 times in a day, no,
bro, you don't gotta go off the deep end. You don't gotta go off the deep end. You can handle this shit. Normal people handle this, man. This game's fun. But no, for real, like, there's definitely a much better aspect of watching somebody learn a fight versus the reset aspect. Now, there's high level shit that, of course, is incredible. Like, I was watching TSC today when he got his 907 on Fatalis with Insect Wave, because you get to see again what you're talking about, just in a shorter quantum time frame here. It's just much quicker just to do the accelerated thing you're trying to speedrun. Yeah. So watching the evolution of it from his 930 PB to 907, just fucking great. I absolutely loved it. It's good to see that happen at all levels. It just usually happens more at the entry. I shouldn't even say that, at the not the speedrunning level, because the speedrunning level, you're looking at marginal fractions of a second, seconds off a minute. You know what I mean? You're not going to really see that much of a difference.
Makes sense.
It's not a big clear from I timed out to I fucking crushed it 10 minutes early kind of thing.
Boom, exactly.
Yeah.
So, after I sold Fatalis on stream. That was I think that was like the highest on life that I have ever been in any game. Dark Souls, and it just literally trumped everything.
It's a crazy
And I killed him in 28 minutes.
You should feel glad. Like, fucking Fatalis is nutty.
Yeah, I was really fucking excited. Especially because I was doing it with Bo and I didn't break the fucking face because I refused, because that sucks and I didn't want to do it. So I killed him in 28 minutes. And I think a few days after that, I went on YouTube and I watched a speedrunner. What was his name?
Titus? Titus is
Titus 69. Yeah, Titus.
Titus is really cool.
Shout out to unit.
Yeah.
I watched him with Bo do a Fatalis speedrun. I think he did it in like 11 minutes or something like that. He might have other ones up now, but that was the one that I saw.
Yeah, I think he's at low 10s now.
I watched that. I watched him and I was like, okay. Went back and I killed it in 24 minutes.
Nice.
So I'm learning. Like, see? Like, you can watch what other people...
But most of the Monster Hunter player base does not have that specific component that you just cited to be able to say, hey, I can improve on this. And that's why they wrote this 93-page petition about, hey, we're all bad at this game together. Make it easier, please.
Okay, well,
what's it like 89% of the player base can't clear him solo? Isn't it something like that? Or it's solo? I don't want to generalize.
Fatty.
Either one of them, probably?
Maybe.
Okay, I didn't actually see a petition for Fatty. We didn't get one, did we?
I'm sure something went up somewhere, bro. Someone did something, please.
Sure, there's one somewhere.
Because Fatalis is
someone's very upset.
harder than Electron. If people flip that much about Electron, I was curious what they were going to do with Fatalis.
It's the damage
check.
check.
About Behemoth. They wanted to start the petition with Behemoth, but someone couldn't figure out how to get it done. Then they finally figured that shit out, got an Excel spreadsheet loaded online with like a Google Doc or something, and boom. That's where we had that Electron shit.
The biggest fucking pushover compared to like Fatalis.
I believe it. Yeah.
Nothing on Fatty.
KO immunity? That's absolutely stupid. That's absolutely stupid. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
You get 1 sleep and 1 para. After that,
that's stupid too.
By like 3K or something. It's
dumb as hell.
I was freaking out because when Fatty first came out and we were fighting him, I thought that his flame attacks that he does in the 3rd phase, I thought that was a damage check. I was like, damn it, why did they do this? Why did they put another damage check?
And you're like, oh, I just gotta walk underneath them.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a damage check. It's a damage check, guys.
So we're coming on the end of Monster Hunter World, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of a reality check for all of us here, right? Little solemn moment.
Yeah.
Well, first, before we
game changed my life.
We gotta drink and finish our drinks, Faye.
Put them down. I'll let up my pen. Yeah, you gotta drink the whole thing. You gotta slam it. We gotta go back to making the guests get like completely bloodshot fucked up. We gotta do that. That's what I want to go back to.
Dude, if that happens, I'm not responsible for what I say.
No, that's cool. That's why we edit it. That's why we edit it. Yeah, that's what's up.
Pound it, Faye, before we continue on.
Rowdy, Frosty got pretty fucked up. Frosty was pretty hardcore. That was the night I puked blood and I wanted to drink White Claw again.
Frosty was good.
Oh my
Frosty
God,
was real
you
good.
puke blood?
Yeah, like I didn't eat dinner and I drank like 12 White Claw in like an hour and a half, and I was just like,
oh my Lord.
I think we did one like a duo where you also got fucking trashed.
There's been a few of those, brother. A few.
Yeah, I think Angbada drank a lot too. First
did
time
Aang get fucked up?
Yeah, Aang did.
Aang's awesome. Aang's so cool.
First time with what you call it, Asterisk. He drank a gallon of pee.
The pee
was cray cray.
Pisco or whatever it was, and then he found out that it wasn't Crisco. I don't know what he said. I couldn't remember. He told us a funny ass story.
And we drank a lot with TSC as well too.
I'll always drink with TSC. That dude's smart. He gets it. He was right. TSC was right. I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt. TSC was right.
TSC's right.
No, not is right. TSC was right. Just his mantra about it. Like he was 100%. At the end of Monster Hunter World now, with Iceborne in rear view right, like 100%. He was right. Like he 100% was fucking right.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who TSC? He's our U.S. championship. Him and Sandgrass won the championship this year. It was second place with me the previous year because I fucked it up with you default controls.
Oh no.
So I have to relive this story every single time I hear about it. But the first time we did like the world championship, whatever Monster Hunter, this was like 3 months after the game was out. This is like in March or whatever. And the way they set it up is fucking shitty because you get like 30 seconds, legit 30 seconds to change all your controls from default before you have to like go back. And I changed all my controls except the one which was R3 to sheath. Like sheath was usually just like hold R1, and I forgot to change that one. So when I was moving the camera around, I kept fucking clicking the R3 and sheathing my switch axe. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so I was basically wrecked the entire hunt because I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. And of course, you get one take, and they gave us 30 seconds to check controls, and that's not enough to check everything.
Dude, that's such a bummer.
We got second because of that, and then I was really butthurt about it. But
That's
anyway,
so sad.
No, TSC. TSC not only is our NA champion, but he also does a ton of speedruns with abusing tool-assisted stuff with ledge light bowgun. He did a bunch of aerial stuff back in the day. He does crazy strats like infinite wall bang glitches.
He's the world's best player. He's the world's best player.
He's fucking amazing. He's super big brain.
The world's best player.
You should check out his stuff on YouTube. You just want to see
definitely
crazy random shit that you can do in the game. All sorts of stuff, like how to force transition Lunastra and then ledge lock dunk it from basically zero. Crazy shit.
What?
Yeah, like
that's big brain.
Using nothing but like poison smoke bombs, dunk pods, and a barrel bomb or something. Like
and a partridge in a pear tree.
A partridge in a pear tree.
Just the fucking thing down.
Yeah, he's got some crazy strats. There's a couple people out there. Like, unfortunately, Ricky's not playing anymore. There's a lot of people that are like.
Ricky was the best.
Brain.
Ricky was the best.
Ricky can figure out how to make a dunk pod do 2,000 damage. So
yes, Ricky did. Ricky did. He was like, "Yeah, I killed it in 6 seconds at camp," and you were like, "What the fuck?"
What?
Yeah, Ricky's crazy. Oh well, maybe we'll see him in the next game.
That's amazing.
But anyway, so we talked a lot about it in the last podcast, but basically this is the end of World. Like, we have no more content scheduled. We might get some things like Arc Tempered, Val, and Ruiner or whatever, but we only got a couple months until Rise. Like, it's coming out in March. It's almost November. We only got a few months.
Yeah.
And AT Volcana just came out, released. That was the last thing on their schedule. So we're basically done. So what are your guys' impressions, overall thoughts on World base game and then the Iceborne transition?
I think base game was easily one of the best games I've ever played in my life, man. I mean, I don't think I'd be sitting here doing this with you if I didn't find the gameplay to be as engrossing as it was, the difference in weapon types to allow us to have not only different play styles, but at the high level showcase talent and the ability to be masters of those weapons. You know, when you've got 12 different weapon play styles, right, you arguably have 12 different versions of playing a game. While it might not be the deepest math, you know, you have literally 12 different games that are going on. This game, the replayability, the social aspect that they spent time, it looks like, getting built out, you know, with a lot of the events, a lot of the ease of access for everything. I truly think that this game did wonders for Capcom and probably for a lot of games to come, because they can take this as a blueprint, kind of like what Neo did when Neo just like stole everything good from like every game that was out and then just, here's Neo, it's really, really good. You could take a lot from Monster Hunter World. Iceborne too, of course, you know, just because Iceborne was great, just minus Clutch Claw, which I think just get rid of it and you have no problem whatsoever. The game is a pillar to what games should be. Now, while we can go through every podcast and we make jokes about, hey, yeah, this is dumb, this is stupid, this game has invested thousands of hours from most players. That's the reality of it. It's not 50, it's not 100. It's thousands. And
we might talk a lot of shit.
That's pretty gnarly. That's pretty gnarly.
We do talk a lot of shit about it, but it also comes from a place of endearment because...
because we want it to be, we can see what it could be. Because we know it could be better. And in an easy way. Like, there's a lot of things that I wish Capcom listened to the player base more on, but that, you know, they've got their company, they've got their market schemes and things that they're focused on, so they don't change stuff. They've got their plan, they think they know more, but you know, this game, had they made some changes, even a way to play it with removal of Clutch Claw, I think that could have even helped out a lot in terms of like the high level competition aspect. And I do think that they need the one change I would make, and this is the only thing, is they had the arena where you could have like the world leaderboard, and I don't think you could cheat it too easily. I think it was like tough to do that. I want that for every monster. because you need to have a competition. The biggest difference in why the player base doesn't grow even more, right? You've got like the high level that can't communicate with the entry level, and then there's like all kinds of the monsters, the difficulty, the communication is broke down because, how can I state this? Communication breaks down, you know what, fuck. I don't know what I'm trying to say right here, shit, man.
Okay, I'm gonna let you think about that, but think about this too, because I know what you're talking about. You want like a leaderboard on every quest, just so people can kind of see how they're doing compared to everyone else. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. I smoked a bunch. It's you gotta have a goal. You gotta have a goal, bro. That's all. Mm-hmm. You gotta have a goal. You gotta be like, hey, this is where I'm supposed to be to know that I'm good. That's the problem. People like the whole Latreon thing that happened. Well, I've been playing this game 10 years. I never had to do a damage check before. Look, it doesn't matter what you want to do, motherfucker. It's the game. Like, sometimes you have to play a game a little bit differently. Not all bosses are the same, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Latreon did.
Do you think it was their way, Capcom's way of saying, like, you should be at this skill level at this point?
Absolutely. It was a skill check.
It was the last two actual bosses for the game, and they felt like, okay, here are your skill checks. Like, and that's why I like people who do the solo runs on both Latreon and Fatalis. Like, it just proves you understand the game. You know what to do. You get it. And
that's exactly
especially a Fatalis run where it's like a 10-minute thing. It's not like 2-3 minutes, even if you're speedrunning it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a longer fight, so you have to be physically good. Like, Fatalis is probably the best judgment of if you're really good at this game. Now, I don't know if that's the right thing to say from someone who hasn't cleared it himself yet, but from everything I've seen and all the time that I've watched, it seems to be the litmus test that I would argue I'd want to have. I mean, from someone who played this game previously a whole bunch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good fight. I really like they're actually just skill check fights. They're not just fights. They're like, okay, the only way you're going to do this is if you know what you're doing, kind of thing. And a lot of people, like the casual audience, didn't like that, but I thought it was.
See, but that makes me wonder though. Like, I wonder if a Latreon would technically be that and not Fatalis, because Fatalis has the roaming ballista and the cannons and all this other bullshit that you kind of have to use. So I'm wondering, like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I see what you're saying, because the Latreon had,
you know what I mean?
It was just you and a Latreon, like mono kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fatalis is, I would say you can do it without the ballistas and stuff, but I guess the ballistas having been there does make it, you know.
The roaming ballista is fucking disgusting.
The roaming ballista is OP. It's so good.
It's like, fucking disgusting,
I didn't see, but when you did your solo runs, did you have heavy artillery socketed in your skit?
Yeah, I had it socketed in my temporal mantle, so I only used it when temporal mantle was up. Pop it on, use it roaming. It would shoot fireballs at me the whole time. Get rid of temporal, done.
Dude, it's like 10,000 damage. Like on a tenderized chest, it's like 100 damage a hit, and you get 100 bullets out of it. It is fat amounts of damage. It's so crazy.
That's why I like Fatalis, man. It's because you don't have to break the face. I mean, you can. It's better if you do.
But you don't.
But I fucking don't want to. I don't want to.
As a ranged player, because the hit zone is dog shit.
Yep.
No, so
I hope they get rid of all ranged weapons in Rise. I hope they get rid of every single ranged weapon.
They already confirmed that we're not getting.
They can't tune the game right with those ranged weapons. You cannot tune this game.
That's not true. That's not true. Because Gen and Gen U, it was not. I mean, okay, Valor Heavy Bowgun. Let's not talk about GU. But Gen was totally fine with the ranged weapons. Light Bowgun was great. Bow was good. Heavy Bowgun was good, but Lance was still top tier, and Great Sword was still fucking crazy.
Okay.
Long Sword was still crazy. You can balance around it. I think the thing that kind of sent the ranged overboard was how much mobility they gave them in World, which is crazy. Because in the old games, you can't shoot and walk at the same time. You stop walking when you shoot. That's the biggest thing.
You can't dash around like a fucking maniac.
Yeah, you can't dash dance with bow. You can't fucking strafe a monster and shoot the light bowgun and dodge all its attacks while you're still damaging it. Like all that stuff. Like they could balance around it. They just I hope what they do with Rise is they get rid of the walk and shoot, because it's super broken.
Okay.
They won't. They'll never get rid of that. What?
Well,
no, that would gate so many
talk
players.
about Rise in a second. I got a couple other things because a bunch of stuff about Rise. But anyway, I was going back to Jin, which you had mentioned briefly on the leaderboard thing for all the quests. So back when Doom came out, the original Doom, they had a way to save all their your clears and a little replay format. It was the original speedrun stuff was with Doom. How cool would it be if they had a leaderboard for world, and every time like the top 3 players quest clears automatically recorded, and so you can play back the top 3 clear times and just watch them after you finish your quest.
Yes.
Or, before.
That'd be pretty neat.
Just to see what they did.
Well, because people argue right now, the kid believes, I should be able to use all health boosting items and para resist and say fuck attack damage, and I can use any build I want in this, that, and the other thing, right? I can play this game however, which you can. God bless you. That's true. But that doesn't make you good at this game. That does not mean, in fact, it would almost argue makes you the exact opposite, but that's a separate conversation. If you have that at the end of each fight that showed how your time got uploaded into some database, and if you were in the top 3, you didn't get saved, you then have that as the de facto psychologically, that's the goal then. And that's where I think I would love to see it, because we would get so many more good players.
Like they give you like a par time, like Doom, like a lot of the maps have a par time, like this, if you beat it in this time, that's considered okay. Like it would be like that, like here's your par.
But I wanted to say like Dark Souls style, like you're bad, instead of you died, it would just be like you're bad. If you did it after like 10 minutes, it was just like you're bad.
Oh, that would be funny mod to have every time you cart. It's just Dark Souls black screen with red text. You're bad.
Yes, I would love that. I would get really
fantastic. Okay, Faye. Well, what is your overall review on Monster Hunter World and Iceborne?
I think. I mean, World definitely changed. The direction of my Twitch channel for the better. I loved World. World was just so much fun. I actually played a lot of SNS before. Obviously, it changed in Iceborne, but I really liked the old school, like little SNS. Played that a lot. I learned how to play Lance, and I think just before Iceborne came out, I was starting to learn a little bit of bow, and I was really liking it. And then it got changed in Iceborne. I didn't really understand how, but now I understand. And then Iceborne came along, and I thought the Clutch Claw was pretty cool at first. And then the more that I played Iceborne, the more it just didn't really feel the same sometimes. And I kind of wish that like they just deleted it, the Clutch Claw, just the delete button.
Is there anyone who wants that in the game still, even after this?
I hate being forced to flinch and bash it into a wall. I don't want to do that. Yeah. I hate doing that. That's why I was so stubborn fighting Latrion, because you kind of have to, you don't have to do that, but you should. And I just never really wanted to do that. I just wanted to fight the monster the way I wanted to fight the monster. I don't like being forced to do it in a certain way. And I think if that wasn't in Iceborne, it would be a fucking game changer. It would be a game changer.
Mm-hmm. Have they showed Claw in Rise? Is it in Rise?
No. So
I don't think so.
They don't have Claw in Rise. They have the Wire Bug, which is
fine.
It's basically like Claw, except we're not clawing monsters. We just have extended attacks on our weapons. Which
it's like a mechanic.
Yeah, it's like
an extra mechanic.
It's not on the monster. You're not
right.
It's an extension of your moveset, basically.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
So I might as well chime in. I absolutely loved World. Now, I think the most fun I had with World was the betas and the demos.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a whole new world. Everything was so foreign. We didn't understand the game. We were just having fun playing around with stuff. And I think the more we learned about it, the more it was still fun, but we just found out how to abuse the new systems with, how the new transitions work and how to flinch lock monsters and all this other weird stuff. So I think over time, it started just to go downhill, because as we got better and better gear, fights just got easier and easier and easier. And I know this is coming from a super elitist perspective, but I didn't think the game was challenging enough like it was originally when we were first playing it. And that's also why I liked when Iceborne first came out, and the betas for Iceborne were really fun because it was new. We were limited on gear. We didn't really understand what was going on. And it felt so exciting trying to piece together how the game worked. And that's what I really had fun with. And I really wish going forward that we don't have as much OP crazy nonsense. By the end of Iceborne, we can literally fit every single DPS boosting skill on a set and still have room for more. And we're just doing so much damage, and Capcom knows it. That's why they scale everything up super fucking high. But then everything just takes longer, and I think everything's just more spongy, and it just starts feeling more artificial, where they want the game to feel more natural and alive. And I think early on in base game world, like basically as you got to the end game before you were like super OP'd out with arc tempered gear and all the decos and stuff, I think that's where the game felt the best, where you're still, grinding for some decos and some gears, but you were just having fun hunting the monsters and just doing your thing. And I really, really enjoyed early games in both World and Iceborne, and that's why I'm really looking forward to Rise, because it's another thing just to figure out.
Yeah.
I just hope we don't get like power creep so hard. That's just it. I think the power creep was
too many slots, man. Too many slots. Every weapon or every piece of armor should have like one slot. Like legit, it should have like one slot. Like you should get to have like, all right, for this fight, I'm gonna run para resist and like crit boost. Like I'm dead serious. I think like that's what you should get. Like instead of like, oh yeah, I fit everything under the sun. Like you can literally fit attack boost 7, crit I7, crit boost, crit weakness exploit, like literally everything, and then like a million other things now with some of these movesets. Like maybe not like 2. Like I'm saying with like paralysis and whatever, but like you like 5. Like you should really only have like 5 abilities. I think it's too power crept. You're right, because when do you not run all that shit? Unless you're just trying to fight the system. Oh, I don't want to run it because blah blah blah. Like you're always gonna run that. Like why would you not run it?
And that's where I think I had a lot of fun with the demos, because especially bow guns and stuff, they scale super hard. And the demo bow guns were pretty trash. But I still had a ton of fun because we had to shuffle through all these random emos, and we didn't have like super min-max, I'm only shooting one thing for 2 minutes straight kind of strats. And I think that just kind of lost on me as basically just a ranged player, where, I mean, all I do now is push spread 3 R2 for like 2 minutes, and then I can only do that so often. Yeah, like base game was fun because we had to shuffle like, 8 different emos and stuff. At least in the demo, not, once we got like clusters and glutton, it was all over from there. But yeah, I just
do you remember that one run?
Which one?
Never mind. You had a run that I was just thinking about. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's basically it. I'm really hoping that Rise is not as power crept.
Do you think that to some extent, like Fatalis gear, you kind of earn it? I mean, that's the thing. Like maybe because of how difficult Fatalis can be, especially like if you're a solo player and you're trying to farm his gear by yourself, even though you can get the parts without even killing him, I guess you can just kind of
thunderblade it.
Yeah, or break the parts, whatever. Do you think that you kind of earn that like freedom with all the slots, or do you think it's still just overboard?
Well, no, especially for Fatalis, and that's the one thing I really like about the fight, is that it is a crazy hard fight. Like, it's ridiculous. Especially for like a casual player. But the armor is equally dumbass strong. And being that it's the last monster of the game, this is the end game fight. Yes, I feel like you should be rewarded with like some crazy overpowered nonsense. Especially because
go
on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if you're fighting with your friends or whatever, and you guys aren't breaking all the parts, you're not breaking the wings, you're not breaking the face and getting the eyes, whatever, it's gonna take you a fucking long time to farm the set. It took some people a while to get the full set, even. I mean, at this point, a lot of people have it, but I don't know. I wonder if there's a way where they could make it just take a really fucking long time to get the full set.
It's worthwhile. You're right.
Games, but in the old games, that was the case, because in the old games, you had to get like Brachydios' immortal reactors and gems and stuff. They only had like a 1% drop. It's not like in World where you have investigations where you get 8 chances at a 3% drop to get like a gem. Old games, you spent a lot more time hunting the actual monsters for gear, because you also needed a bunch of other random parts to make armor. You didn't just need parts from that monster, so they forced you to go out and kill other things. And I think that's what prolonged a lot of armor set making in the older games, and I kind of wish they did that. But yeah, answering your question, I 100% believe that Fatalis' gear is worth the fight and is a good reward. Because by the end of Iceborne, I mean, we had basically everything already. Fatalis is just like an icing on the cake kind of thing. Because Safi was also equally batshit crazy armor, weapons.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely worth it, I think, because you're absolutely right. Like, you've earned it. You've put in all 1,000 hours. You've mastered it for sure. Just going back to what I was saying, the power creeping didn't start with the Fatalis set. It started with, you know, some of the. I mean, Draken alone. You just look at Draken. Draken had literally everything you could ever want. Draken, we beat the game. We beat Iceborne with Draken. Me and Phemeto, day one when we did our 24-hour stream, we used Draken all the way through and beat it. So it's like.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That armor set was ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's weird that like that set came from a Final Fantasy monster and not like a Monster Hunter monster.
Well, I mean,
I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I'm okay with it.
I think that's cool. Behemoth is a cool monster. Whereas like,
I love Behemoth.
We got like shit armor. I was like, eh.
I liked the Behemoth fight for the idea of like how complicated it was. I know for like terms of like running it, it wasn't the best. I get that completely. But like the complicated aspects to it, the phases of it, I loved it for what it was. And I think that's probably the you know, that Japanese mindset or the Eastern mindset or whatever, just because they love that fight too. They love that one a lot. They were running that motherfucker.
I was never a fan of Behemoth. I never really cared for him just because I was tired of magic spam. Just meteors, lightning, tornadoes, meteors, lightning.
Those tornadoes got sick, bro. There was too many. There were too many tornadoes.
AoE spam fights. I really don't.
It was a lot. It was like a lot of tornadoes, like an absurd amount of tornadoes, like that Charbitus or whatever it was. Like it was.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm just thinking about. I haven't done that fight in like a year. I'm just getting like PTSD, like motherfucker.
Was melding, like, you know how you meld monster parts in World? Did that exist in the older games?
No.
Because you meld. So do you think if melding wasn't a thing, do you think it would have been more enticing, like, to actually have to grind for the monster parts to craft the armor, you know, instead of going to meld like a Devil Joe crook or whatever it's called? You'd have to actually go fight and get it. Like, you can't just, let me just run to the melder real quick.
And that's part of World's just quality of life changes where they made everything really easy to get, which I think
easy, accessible, doesn't gate anybody.
And that's the thing. So, because it was made for a wider audience, the whole game was, and I get it. I understand why they did stuff like that. Because it wasn't just a, you know, Eastern-based game, which is where Monster Hunter basically was forever. So that's why I'm hoping that with Rise, because Rise is basically themed off Japan. It's on the Switch only, which is huge in Japan. I think it's going to be more focused on the Eastern audience and not a worldwide audience. That they are going to make it more grindy, more punishing, not as, you know, crazy with the quality of life changes. And I'm actually looking forward to that because, okay, so here's the thing. I'm not speedrunning Monster Hunter anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm so burnt out. I got tired of it. But I still want to play a ton of it. And I can't wait for streaming Rise just so I can do open haul hunts and grind gear and get stuff, because I didn't have to do that a whole lot in base game or even in Iceborne, because you got everything so fast. You hunt a monster 2 times, I got the gear. You you do like your guided lanes, you get all your decorations, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then you basically do the speedrun part for me, and that's where I lost my soul. And I don't want to do that again. So I really hope it takes me a lot longer. Yeah, basically. I just hope it takes me a lot longer to get to that point in Rise.
Dude, speaking of taking a lot longer, let's talk about the movie and how big a fucking dumpster fire this thing's about to be. I really want to touch on this thing. Like, before either one of you give me your opinion, let me just give you my full-fledged, honest opinion. This is easily the worst thing that they could have done. In the realm of like shitty things, it goes like, if we found out that Capcom somehow was part of the reason that like America instituted slavery, that would be the worst thing Capcom's ever done. Then this movie is directly below that. Like, that's how bad this is. This movie, after I saw the new trailer, I can't even look at it and like it, before it was bad enough to laugh at, right? Now it's like, now it's so bad that the only reason I can laugh at it is talking about how bad it is. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to go see it. Like, I won't pay money. Like, I'm definitely not paying money.
Well, I realize it's real now. It's not just
in my head. I was like, oh, maybe it could have something I wanted. Maybe Tony Jaa will be running around doing like dual blade backflips and like cutting Diablos up. Nope. They got a tank, and then they're like, oh, don't use that. Use this bow instead.
On your 6.
And I'm just like, wait, this is this is real. This is the trailer that they sent out that they spent millions of dollars on. Oh, okay. and I'm watching. I'm just sitting there like itching my face, and then I found out, if you guys can tell, like I scratched like all my face up because I didn't understand all these marks on my face. It might look like acne. No, this is because I was like clawing at my skin subconsciously watching that fucking trailer. That thing, the premise alone. Like that they're out in like they're like in Dubai gonna go like party or something, and then like a portal opens up, and then they're suddenly somewhere else. Like if that happened, they would just call like like, wait, are they in the world, or are those things in our world? I don't even know the difference. Like which one?
They went through a portal.
It's both.
Yeah.
They went
So
through
why
a
wouldn't we
portal.
just like send like a jet and just glass it? Oh wait, the jet doesn't work because the tank didn't work, but the bow will work. And then the little lightning daggers, right? See, that's the problem with this movie. You have to suspend all, like, you know what this movie's made for? For flat earthers and anti-vaxxers. That's what this movie is made for. If you think the earth is flat, you'll probably absolutely love it. And please post a review day one so I don't have to go.
Well, I mean,
Please.
it's clearly not made for Monster Hunter
fucking
fans.
brutal.
Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. It's clearly not made for Monster Hunter people, and nobody
Who is it for?
like that even enjoys remotely what Monster Hunter is going to look at that and be like, yeah, that's a good idea. That seems like a good
They
idea.
use fire dual blaze on Rathalos. I'm done.
They
I'm
used
done.
a rocket launcher on Diablos. I mean, I know we could do that with clusters and stickies, but it's an actual RPG, and it stopped it, which is the thing that I don't believe. But yeah, like there's no. I don't know why they did this, because it's not for Monster Hunter fans, and the people who don't know Monster Hunter will be like, what the fuck is going on? This makes no sense.
That's
It's
exactly
not for,
it.
like kaiju movie people. Like, so it's
It's
like
definitely not for
who
kaiju
they make
movie
it for?
people.
I don't
It kind of
understand.
sucks.
Like, because we could have had a good movie. We could have had a legitimate Monster Hunter movie that could have been based on like
Well,
here, hold on. Let me flesh this out.
yeah.
It's a movie that starts in the fucking gathering hub with just a bunch of people hanging out, drinking, chatting it up, and then
Yeah.
someone slaps on an urgent quest on the board. And then these
Okay.
like young hotshot crews like, nah, we fucking got this. And then they go out and then they fucking die, and then
Yes,
the cart
just get
drags
murdered.
them back in, and then this actual like crew from the movie has to go investigate what the fuck happened. And then it's like fucking Gormagala's virus fucked and destroyed the ecosystem, and then they have to fight that, and they do the movie and come back. That could have been a fucking amazing movie.
Hire this man.
But then no,
Did
they're
you
like,
see,
nah, tanks, RPGs, portals, don't worry about it. Modern day setting.
someone
Yeah.
did like a version of what you're exactly talking about, and they took, you know who Ron Perlman is? Hellboy, the original Hellboy. They put
What?
him as the Admiral.
He is the
And
admiral,
they
by
put-
the way.
What?
Yeah, Ron Perlman is in the movie. He is the admiral.
He is the. So that wasn't a fake thing I saw.
No, it was a fake like image crop, but he is the admiral in the movie. He is like
No,
that's
he's
the-
not.
Yeah, that's the only saving grace for that movie is Ron Perlman.
I didn't know that he was
Oh
either.
my god! Now that's great. That's great. That's
It's like
I'm gonna Google
now.
it, double check.
Are you gonna go see it now?
As much as I just had like a 4-minute rant about how bad it was, and Ron Perlman's gonna make me fucking come back from the abyss and be like, I'll go see a Ron Perlman movie.
That's the
I
thing.
love Ron Perlman. I love him, dude. I love Ron Perlman.
Ron
So fucking.
Perlman is amazing.
That's fair.
His kids are tall as fuck. He married a black woman. His kids are all like 8 feet taller than him. It's pretty fucking funny. He's just like,
Yeah, literally, you can Google it. The Monster Hunter movie and the cast. Ron Perlman is the admiral. That's
Okay.
him. So
I can get behind that.
that's the only
Ron
thing
Perlman.
that's like, okay, I like Ron Perlman. We'll see what's up.
Tony Jaa was my favorite, dude. He was Ong Bak, the Protector. Like,
Ron Perlman is the admiral. What?
that's good. That's good. Too bad Mila Jovovich is like really bad at acting. Mila, if you're watching this, I don't like you. Just a heads up. Like she
I don't understand why
Did she do
Mila
anything but
Jovovich.
Resident Evil? Like,
no, and she ruined that franchise. Like
Yeah, she ruined-
that was like my favorite like game like growing up. Like I was a Nintendo fanboy until Resident Evil came out. Like I didn't have a memory card because they were like $40 at the time, and I somehow like scrounged up enough money to get the PlayStation. So I was just playing Resident Evil with no memory card, trying to beat the game all the way through on one shot. And dude, that was like the best time of my life. And then I
Wait.
saw
T.I. is in this movie?
yeah. He's one of the, I think he's the guy on your sticks.
yeah,
Is he
he's
the guy
literally-
with
yeah, that's that guy.
No!
Yeah, fresh off the gun charge or whatever he got. I don't know, maybe he doesn't have a gun charge. I don't remember. What T.I.'s
Oh
got.
my
That was
god,
Jaguar. That was
T.I.
Jaguar.
is in the Monster Hunter movie.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Okay, if Ron Perlman
like-
has to save that movie.
I like
Nobody's
the,
saving that movie, bro. Nobody's saving that movie.
I like the handler. She looks nice. The monsters look cool.
Monsters
but
was
I-
cool.
don't know why they're going about it the way they're going about it.
I know, why do a modern setting
What the fuck?
bullshit thing? Like
And the trailer has every like cliche line, like,
oh,
we
the
gotta go
dialogue
get
is gonna be
Bravo
so
team.
bad. The script, I bet, is
Dialogue is-
horrendous.
The script was 11 pages long. Did you hear that? It was 11 pages long.
That's it.
what?
No, I'm just joking. God, I wish that was real. I wish that was real. But like,
You want
like,
to
I'm
hear
pretty
what
sure it
something
was
else that
11
is real
pages
about
long.
the script? There is a love interest with the muscular chef,
What?
with
Okay.
Mila's character.
Wow.
The,
What?
The main character, yeah. Got some
Sounds
furry
pretty
action
stupid to
going
me.
on here.
Excuse me?
There we go.
It's gonna be a thing. Watch.
Dude, T.I. is in this fucking movie, man.
Ti, bring them out. Bring them
The
out.
movie is gonna
Oh
be
no, 6.
just straight dog shit. We're well aware of that. It was supposed to come out in
Monsters
December.
look dope though. I like the monsters. Rathalos looks
Well, here's
They're
the
big.
thing. Okay,
At least they're not big
so
enough. I would want them
I
bigger.
guess Gormagala is gonna be like the bad monster in this movie, which makes sense. But if they spent so much time and effort putting in Gormagala into this movie, you don't think they would have done some sort of tie-in with the game with Gormagala?
No.
Why
That would make
couldn't they
human
bring
sense.
Gormagala into the world?
That would require thought and thinking things
Everyone
out.
wants Gormagala.
I really can't handle the fact that T.I. is in this movie. I can't handle it.
You know he's done at least 2 songs on the soundtrack too. Minimum 2. Minimum 2.
Dude, the soundtrack for that movie. Can you imagine how much like hip hop and rap is gonna be in it? There's just not
Yes,
gonna
because
fit.
we all know that's a big part of Monster Hunter is hip hop and rap. And this coming from a hip hop and rap guy. I don't want to see that in Monster Hunter though.
If Monster Hunter movie doesn't have proof of a hero in it, I'm gonna be
I know.
super let down. Well, I mean, I'm already
Dude,
let down.
Fatalis had that song stuck in my head for weeks.
It's hype, dude. That track is hype.
Good
Every
music.
every Monster Hunter game's got that as like the final boss track. Double Cross with Altal Call or whatever the big mantis was had it playing on phase 2. Dude, that track just slaps.
It bangs. It bangs. Power banger.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
They'll probably have it in the movie. I mean, they kind of have to. It's like Monster Hunter's theme song. But
Watch it be in like the end credits.
that's what I'm thinking. It's just gonna be end credits.
all they're
You're
gonna
have,
do.
like, fucking hip hop and rap stuff throughout the whole movie. Then the end credits will be like proof of the hero. Like, you motherfuckers. It's not gonna be.
This movie could be worse than the Super Mario Brothers movie.
No,
It could
no. Okay, first off, no. I know that movie's bad.
I don't know.
But
I'm
it's
going that far.
comically bad. I will watch
Going
the
there.
Super Mario Brothers movies and probably enjoy it more than this.
Yeah, I'll watch the Mario because it's that bad. Like
It's so bad.
it's beyond
It's so
that.
bad.
This one just might be like just so bad that you just don't want to touch it. Like it might be.
You know, it's a
It looks
great
horrible, bro.
movie.
Like I don't see anything redeeming in this movie. Like Ron Perlman, yes, but I won't go pay for it. Not day one. I just thought about that. Ron, I'm
It's
sorry.
gonna be bad.
I'm sorry, Ron.
Um,
I'm sorry.
You know, what was a good video game movie was the Mortal Kombat movies.
The first one was.
The first one was really good.
Good.
I was the
Those
first
are
one was fucking badass, dude. Raiden was Christopher Lambert, came out, buckshots on Sub-Zero and Scorpion. The fucking they had what's his name that I pardon my ignorance on Shang Tsung's actor's name, but that guy literally was like the best part
He
of
was
that
so
movie.
good.
He was
Shang Tsung was
perfect,
so
dude.
good.
Oh my god.
And, oh, did
The
you see
whole
that?
KSB Guns scene.
Yeah, and did you see that in Mortal Kombat 11 when they brought Shang Tsung as a character? They actually had the actor for that movie be the mocap for Shang Tsung.
That's awesome.
It's super cool. Like
That's fucking badass, dude.
But yeah, we can't have good video game movies apparently. At least not anymore.
I'm
Doesn't
just
Johnny
Googled
Cage
all
punch
the
Goro in the
video game
balls?
Yes.
He does. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage punches Goro in the
Oh
balls. in that movie.
yeah, 100%.
Warcraft, Tomb Raider, Resident
The
Evil,
Warcraft movie was so
Silent
bad.
Hill.
That was a piece of shit. It's getting someone who like literally dropped out of college to run a Warcraft guild. That was a disappointment and a half. Let me tell you, that was a
funny part is-
dumpster fire.
It was only half good. I thought the orc side, not too bad. But the human side was just the biggest dog shit ever.
Dude,
And then-
I don't even know where they were going with what they were trying to draw out. Like it was just absolutely atrocious. Like you're like. The scope of what they wanted to do did not fit to their execution. Like you could kind of see glimpses of what they want to do, but like it fell apart like from the very beginning. Like the whole thing was just trash.
Did
Tons
the
of dialogue
Resident
about nothing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just had a thought. Did the Resident Evil movies even follow the games? I never
No.
played the games.
I
Did they
thought
hold true to the games at
Nope.
all, or were
Totally
they
different.
just completely branched off?
The
Ruined.
second one had
Ruined.
Really
Nemesis
that
in it. like the second one had Nemesis in it, which is obviously Nemesis from Resident Evil 3, but it had the storyline did not follow at all.
It had Mike Epps. Mike Epps was pretty cool, making a lot of jokes during the violent horde raids. That's about it.
And I thought the first Resident Evil movie wasn't terrible. It was passable.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I never played the game, so I don't know what's going on.
Resident Evil movies. I thought
there's a lot.
First one was okay, and then after that, it was just fucking down.
She has psychic powers in the third one. Her name's Alice, by the way.
So is this just like a totally random character created for Mila Jovovich?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And it is horrific. Like she has like superpowers, and like she like opens up like portals to other worlds, and like doesn't die. Like it's absolutely like atrocious. Like I've watched them all, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I know they're gonna be so fucking bad, and I'm always like, this is trash. Like even halfway through it, like I'm drinking beers, I'm like, I want to watch something else, like anything else. But yeah, no, they're garbage. They don't follow shit.
I wonder if they're gonna have every weapon showcased in the movie, or just like a few, because we saw bow, dual blades, great sword.
They'll probably have people walking around.
Heavy bowgun. Was that even heavy bowgun? I don't know.
There's no way they're gonna like actually showcase the weapons. Like,
of course they are gonna showcase.
Are Mila gonna TCS something?
What?
Are we gonna see Mila Jovovich?
Are they gonna like call out the move? Demon
They're gonna like wire harness her, and she's gonna be like, ah.
Oh my god.
Like she just pulls back and charges, and like says, ah. Like, dude, I can see it. It's gonna be so corny, dude.
I want to see
100%.
them just swing a great sword, but like, what are you doing?
Well, she's got the dual blade. She's gonna demon dance. You saw her go.
Yep. Tony Jaa was teaching her.
Fucking
This whole fucking movie is just. Oh.
I'm glad that we can end the podcast talking about how horrible this movie is, because it really is the most important thing I wanted to talk about. I want to single-handedly bomb this movie. Like I want to be the reason that this movie. They're like, oh my god, that guy was so right.
As a white male, you could literally bomb the movie.
Well, unfortunately, did I ever show you that photo that like when I have my glasses and I look like every shooter in America for like the past like 8 months? Like I won't even go in public now. I'm just like, no, I'm good, man. I wear a hat. Like I'm just like, hey, yeah, no, I'm good. Can I just have a McChicken, please, and a Diet Coke? Thank you.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It's bad, bro.
Well, I wanted to talk about a couple other things besides the horrible, horrible movie.
Sure.
We talked about Rise coming out. Faye, do you have any expectations, or you're gonna play Rise, right?
I am. I'm really hyped for it. I'm really excited for it. I just hope that I like it. Because when GU was like advertised for the Switch, I was really excited to play it, and I just didn't like it. And I'm hoping I don't get super excited for Rise and then not like it, because it looks amazing. But I just hope that, like, I don't know. I hope I like it. I don't know.
I have hopes for it because it's running basically off of World, so it's going to play more like World and less like the older games. But at the same time, that worries me because I hate how ranged plays in World, like a lot.
Right.
And
right. It's very
to change that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I would say I do love the monster designs what they've shown for Rise. All the monsters look super cool. Like the great Izanuchi, I think it's Izanuchi or whatever. It's the new bird wyvern that's got scythe for its tails. And it coordinates attacks with its little drones or whatever the fuck they are, the little ones. And they've never done that in a Monster Hunter game. And it looks really cool to actually have to fight the little guys like coordinated with the big monster. And I mean, it just looks really neat. Also, Terry, the whatever the fuck it is, the Tritanodon, looks like the best monster. He's gonna be my new dude.
Awesome. Yep, exactly.
Fucking Terry.
I also see, so playing GU, we were farming Nursilla, so I could get the Nursilla bow. And I know that they're going to be bringing back some kind of insect type monsters to Rise, so that'll be really interesting for me because I'm not used to like bugs or insect monsters, and I think those would be super cool to fight.
And yeah, I love insects. Insects are great. And I know it's not necessarily Nursilla, but it looks like it's gonna be another spider species.
Yeah, something similar. Yep.
But I'm hyped because I love the insect fights. And I would like to see them bring back some of the other skeletons, like Leviathans, and I don't know what the crab ones are called, the
Oh, speaking of, I don't know if I don't think I mentioned this, but I did play Monster Hunter 3U for a bit because I was playing some games on the Wii U. I think I was playing Majora's Mask, and I finished it, and I was like, okay, guys, like, is there a Monster Hunter game available on the Wii U right now? And everyone was like, yeah, like 3U. So I bought it, I downloaded it, I played it. And I love, like, it's so charming. I actually really liked it compared to GU. I really did.
Make that game. They're so vibrant, and being able to traverse the waters and stuff is so
I did like swimming. I did like it.
It makes the maps feel so much more immersive. I love map design. And I wish
the maps were really nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they'll ever bring swimming back? Do you think swimming will be in Rise?
No, I don't think
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Typically, every Monster Hunter game's got like one gimmick. And this one looks like it's wire bug and verticality. So
yeah.
I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to bring back water combat, but I wish they fucking would, because here's the thing. So a lot of people didn't like it because of the camera, but you also got to remember that the 3U camera was not like normal cameras.
It was very awkward.
It was clunky. It was a really weird, like, spaced set amount it would move every time you touch the thing. If you do a modern camera style like we have with World in the water, I think it would feel way better.
Okay. So, I think they could make that happen. I really do. I think they could make swimming, or even just like maybe not, monsters underwater, but maybe transitioning to different areas, or just like swimming, to get to.
Right. We don't have to necessarily fight
wherever. I think they could make it work. They could definitely make it work.
What's that monster they showed in beta that we never got? Lagiacrus?
Yeah, Lagiacrus, which was, they said it didn't really fit in the maps, but the beta had it, and it looked so dope.
Yeah, dude, that's why it ate another monster, didn't it?
Yeah, it ate Anjanath, because Laggy's big, and then, like, in the actual, like, 3U, like, trailer or whatever, you can see how big Laggy is, because it stands up over a Rathalos, and it's, like, fucking towering this Rathalos. Laggy's big. And I like Laggy. You did get to fight him in G and GU on land, and a lot of people don't like the land fights of water monsters, but I think it works out okay. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I don't know, I really hope they bring back water combat. If not water combat, then just the water monsters, and you just fight them near the water.
I think that would be so cool. I really do. I mean, even just like at the beginning of the game, I obviously made a new character. I started a new game, and even at the beginning, you encounter Lagiacrus, and it is so cool. Just him, he's just chilling in the water, and it's so fucking scary because you have to just get, you have to fucking dip. You have to go, and it's honestly unlike anything I've felt, from World, because you're in the fucking water, and this is a deep sea. Well, a water monster, and it's such a cool experience. It would be really, really dope to see something like that in World, like environment and graphics and all that. I really hope for that someday. I really do. I mean, how cool would it be to fight like Namiel as a, in underwater?
A fucking jellyfish.
Yeah,
in the water.
like deep sea, like pitch black. All of a sudden, you just see this bioluminescent elder dragon, and you just fight her in the darkness.
I would shit my pants.
Cool. It would be cool because it couldn't do tidal waves and shit at you, so it's automatically better.
It wouldn't be able to dehydrate.
Yeah, it wouldn't be able to dehydrate. Yeah, you just get normal Nami. That would be cool, actually.
I would like that. That's the dream.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that Rise is good too. I can't wait to start playing that again.
You will be.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hooked on Monster Hunter. I've been playing Monster Hunter since 3U. Mostly I started in 4U, but I've been playing like religiously just Monster Hunter for almost a decade. Like I play other games like from time to time, but I just play a lot of Monster Hunter. So
I mean, there's a lot of shit to do in these games.
Well, and the combat from Monster Hunter spoiled so many games for me. I can't play a lot of other like action games or stuff like that. Like The Witcher. Everyone loves The Witcher, but I'm like, have you played Monster Hunter? Because the combat in The Witcher is straight dog shit, and like Monster Hunter combat is so fucking good that I can't play other games. Even like Dark Souls. Like I've gone back and played Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. Bloodborne's still my favorite. I love the games, but I'm like, dude, even Dark Souls combat is clunky as shit compared to Monster Hunter. It is, Jen. It's 100%. It is.
Jen's just fuming right now.
You can change your opinion when the remaster for Demon's Souls comes out, but
I don't need to change my opinion. You need to change your opinion.
No, I don't, because Monster Hunter combat is far superior to Dark Souls combat.
I'm glad that I got to experience. the older Demon Souls on PS3. I'm so glad I got to experience that.
Yep.
Can we talk about how do you feel about the remake?
It's gonna be the best game.
It's
ever
coming
made.
out on PC. I don't care what people are saying. They spoiled it, kind of like they did with what the fuck was the Kojima game? Dead Stranding.
Yep.
It's coming out on PC. It'll be like maybe a couple months after release, just like Death Stranding was.
Okay,
So,
but after they showed the gameplay, do you think it's gonna be too much like a cinematic game, like God of War, how they have it like
No.
it's over the left shoulder and it's just no? You don't think it'll be?
I think
You think it's just for the trailer? Okay.
Yeah, they wanted to look good. They wanted to showcase the
Not
graphics.
the trailer, but
Yeah, I think it'll play just like Dark Souls 3, but better.
Yeah, it will.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It'll be
think
so
it'll just
good.
be
It's gonna be so
smoother.
good. I'm off the ledge. I'm already off the fucking ledge. It's gonna be so goddamn good. It's gonna be so fucking.
I'm not getting
good.
it at launch because I'm not getting a PS5.
I
at
am. I have
launch.
2 PS5s on day one.
I don't have
In
a
case the
PS.
first PS5 doesn't work, I got a second one just in case.
Priorities. But it's coming out on PC, so
Thought
I'm
ahead.
just gonna wait for that. But other than Demon Souls, there's nothing launch titles I want
There's
for
not, no.
PS5, so
There's
I had no
nothing.
reason to get one.
No, only
But I will
Demon's
play
Souls.
it, but I'll be late to the party on that.
I think I'll be late too.
But it'll be good. I mean, there's no bad Dark Souls game, just like there's no bad Monster Hunter game. Like they're all good. Some are
They just get
funkier
better.
than others, and they're different. But even like everyone hated Dark Souls 2. I thought it was fine. But yeah, the environments were shit, and a lot of the bosses were kind of crap. But the combat felt really good in Dark Souls 2.
I like Dark Souls 2 story. That's it. I like
It's
the
good.
story.
I like everything.
I beat that game with the lance.
That's good.
I like some of the bosses. Like
It did so much fucking damage, dude.
was that
It
the chariot
crazy.
charger guy's lance?
Yeah.
Yeah, that lance poked like a lot. I don't know. I think they did a
Grand
lot of good
Lance.
stuff.
That's what I used. The Grand Lance.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Dude,
That thing
in
is
Dark Souls
sick.
2, I had a weird setup. I played a great bow and a little dragon crest shield that I two-handed to block. Dude, it fucking slapped. You could, if you two-handed shields in that game, you could literally block anything. Power stance, twin ultra great swords, nah, you could tank it. And then you just fucking bash them while they're swinging and push them out of it. And then you swap to your great bow and just roll catch them. Dude, fucking great bows were so good. But anyway, yeah, Demon Souls coming out, gonna be good. When's it coming out? Like November? It's a launch title for the PS5, right?
The 12th, day one.
Oh wow, so it's like a month away.
It's gonna be a while before I can get my hands on it, I think, unless I wait out in line for a PS5 at Best Buy at midnight,
I'll wait till next year.
which I might
You should
do.
do it. You should do it. You should do
I
it.
might do
Yeah, you
it.
should do it too. Everybody
Just
should
have
do it.
your viewers
Everybody
send
should
you
do
one.
it.
Just tell them to send you one.
Okay.
And so the last thing I really want to talk about is Stories 2. Now, I don't think either of you played Stories, did you?
No,
Nope.
but I'm trying to find a way to play it.
Okay, you can
But
play it.
I'm not having
We
any
had-
luck.
You can play it on Citra, the 3DS emulator on the PC.
Got it.
It also is on the phone. If you want to stream from your phone, you can capture.
I don't know how to stream from my phone.
Okay.
Oh, you need it. Do you need a different Can you use the Elgato capture card with it?
Yeah, I think you can.
I guess I'll just.
You just gotta
Find a
Well,
YouTube
what you
video.
do is you output your phone to your TV, and then you just stream out or you capture card off your TV.
Oh, that I can do.
Yeah,
You
and then
can't switch the TV.
and then you just play with a controller off your phone, a wireless controller.
Cool.
And yeah, do that way. But Stories was a very underrated Monster Hunter game because it was one of those spin-off games, and it plays basically like Pokemon.
Okay.
And it was like my favorite game of the 3DS. I played so much. I think I actually only put like 200 hours into it, just because I didn't do any of like the PvP stuff and gene grinding for like perfect monsters, kind of like IV and EV training Pokemon. Just kind of got out of hand. But I think it was such a good game and very underrated. And I honestly didn't expect us to get both Rise and Stories 2. I was expecting, we're gonna get another game for the Switch after Monster Hunter World, and then we'll get like a next gen PS5 game, maybe 2 years from now. I
Sure.
did not expect us to get like they showed like the Rise trailer, and I was like, oh shit, we get an actual Monster Hunter game for the Switch. And then they showed Stories 2 afterwards. I'm like, what the fuck? We get 2 games? because
Two good ones.
I was really excited for Stories 2, and
Yeah.
I've been asking for Stories 2 on the fucking Monster Hunter Twitter for like a year. Me and
Yeah.
Kantor have, and they're finally doing it, and I cannot fucking wait for that. I think it comes out like 6 months after Rise, so we'll have enough time to hate that game and then play Stories.
I think Stories 2 looks phenomenal.
Jin, since it's so much like Pokemon, do you have any interest in playing Stories?
Oh, you already know, bro. I'm gonna be all over it. Like, you don't even know. Just get ready. Just sit back, keep your butts in the seats. I'm gonna keep you entertained. Just wait till that game comes out. Just wait. Just wait.
I know I said it last time with Pokemon, but I might want to get into like PvP stuff for Stories 2. And then, the other thing is, I think around when Rise is supposed to come out next year, Nintendo's supposed to be releasing like the Switch Pro, or like they're gonna unveil their new Switch model or whatever. And I'm terrified of that because I really, really hope that it's not like a PS4 Pro thing with like World, where it runs like straight dog shit on like the PS4, and even on PS4 Pro we have like 2-minute load times because fucking the Switch doesn't have like an SSD. It's just running off SD cards. It doesn't have great load times as it is.
Correct.
I really hope the loading and frame rate in that game is adequate enough without needing, the Pro model that they're coming out with. So I'm worried about that.
We'll see. Only time will tell, man.
Yep.
That's everything.
Anything else they got to talk about? I think I covered everything I wanted to do.
Faye, I appreciate you being here. Fem, I appreciate you as always for keeping us going on this thing, man. This was a good episode today. I had a fucking great time, and we got to talk about how horrifically bad the Monster Hunter movie is going to be.
Yeah,
that was
so just
fun.
Plug that one more time, and I'm done. Thank you, everybody. That's all you got from Jim.
All right, peace, Jan. You got anything, Faye?
No, I thank you guys so much for having me on. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Well, then I guess we're outies. So yeah, we'll just get this thing wrapped up. All right, thanks for hanging around, peoples. We're out. Peace,
See you
man.
soon.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.